Welcome to this session on how to choose the right social media platform. Now, we have common social media platforms, especially in this part of the world where people are either on TikTok, on Twitter or X, or on LinkedIn or on Facebook. So how do we know what social media platform to use for growing our community or building brand awareness and so on and so forth based on our goals and objectives? Number one, know your audience. We've been talking a lot about knowing your audience, and that is to tell you how important it is to know your audience. If you don't know your audience, you won't know where they are. And if you don't know where they are, you can't know how to get to them. So that's why it's important. And that's why we keep talking about knowing your audience. Knowing your audience, you have to identify their age, gender, location, and interest, right? And then you will really know where to find them and even the content that you need to do. You need to understand their behavior, right? Where they spend their time online and how they interact with content. Okay, so you need to know my target. What are their age group, right? What are their gender, and where do they spend most of their time? So you need to have this information. When you do, you are empowered. You are greatly empowered now, right? Then, when you understand that, you define your goals. Is your goal brand awareness? If your goal is for brand awareness, then platforms like Facebook and Instagram are great for reaching a broad audience. Okay, so because majority of people, like in Nigeria now, majority of people are either on Facebook, on Instagram, or on both. But if they are on both, they are either more active on Instagram or more active on Facebook. You hear some people say, I'm an Instagram person, and some others say I'm a Facebook person, and so on and so forth. So if you know their age and gender, you know where they spend most of their time, then you begin to say, all right, they spend most of their time on Instagram, for instance, and you say, and my interest is brand awareness, then you have it. So it will be great for you to choose Instagram for your brand awareness. Then when we are looking about engagement, although you can measure engagement on all of the social media platforms. In fact, engagement is at the center of all of the social media metrics, right? But when we are talking about the engagement, for instance, if you want to look at trends and trendy occurrence around the world, where do you find them easily? You find them on X, which is formerly Twitter, and on TikTok. So you see that these two platforms are ideal for real-time interaction and engaging content. That is where you see most trendy discussions, right? So if you want to be part of trends, you want to go through using trends, then these two platforms are good for you. But you have to remember that Twitter is great with text, TikTok great with short videos, as we have discussed earlier. Then, what if your goal is professional networking? If your goal is that, then you know that LinkedIn is best for you, because LinkedIn is best for business-to-business marketing and professional connections. Because once you get, even with the name, you don't get friends, right? You get connections, right? To your profile, you get connections. So you don't get friends like other platforms, other social media platforms. So you get connections. Here, business is seal deal. They want to connect. This is what I have to offer, and this is what you can get. So let's have a partnership. Let's network and have a partnership for our businesses to benefit. All right, so let's look at content type again. So now for visual content, we have actually done this. We know our audience now. We know we have basically on picked a goal. Now, if we have picked a goal, we can now look at what about the content type? Okay, what content now do I want to post? If I want brand awareness, my goal is brand awareness, for instance, what content should I use? So for instance, for visual content, right? Visual content will be amazing, great images and videos, right? For instance, now on Instagram, I can post short videos and pictures, images. The same thing I can do great images on Pinterest, then short videos on TikTok, right? Then what about written content? LinkedIn is great for written content. So it's expected. Content and infographics are great on LinkedIn, right? Twitter is great for written content. So now if you want to post articles, updates, and professional insights, these two platforms are great for you. Then what about mixed content, where we can have videos, images, and text? So Facebook support all content types. Okay, now let's look at platform strengths. Okay, Facebook has a broad reach, allows diverse content, and is great for community building. So you know that this is the strength of Facebook, right? So if you want to achieve any of these, then Facebook is your greatest bet. What about Instagram? Instagram is excellent for visual storytelling, right? Brand aesthetics and influencer marketing, because you see that here in Nigeria, even globally, you see most influencers are actually on Instagram as well as sometimes Twitter, basically. So you see, this will help you, okay, to adapt your social media strategy to get great results. Because as you see what we have been discussing, you'll find out that you cannot create a strategy that will just go around all of the social media platforms. You need to adapt. You need to say, okay, this is our goal. Our goal is to achieve these results. So how do we basically create brand awareness on Twitter? Because we need to use text, right? And now go through trends to talk about our brand. So you see, because Twitter is great for real-time updates, customer service, and trending topics, right? So you see, if I want to talk about anything, maybe I will have to just look at a trend and say, okay, how do I come in to say something about my brand in this trend? Is this trend what it is? Is it a positive trend? Is it a negative trend? How do I want to portray my business if I must do that? Okay, so that is how you have to do that. Then LinkedIn, professional networking, as we've said, great for business to business networking and industry insights. TikTok is great for viral video content. Then it's great for younger audience and creative videos. So now we have done all of these things. Now we need to actually analyze our competitors. What are our competitors doing? Where are they active and where are they successful? You can check this on social media. You know your competitors. You have done your competitors analysis, right? You know your competitors. Find out what they are doing on social media, how they perform on social media. Find out what is the number of their following and how their followers engage in their content. It's very important. So you don't stress yourself and do the wrong thing. Some people may have a huge number of following and they are not really engaged. They are not engaged audience. So you have to learn from that. This analysis will provide insights to where your audience might be most engaged. For instance, if you are selling a particular product and your competitor is selling the same product, right? Maybe a different, a similar product, you know that your audience are quite the same, right? So how are they engaging with your competitors' content? Are they engaging well? If they are, what are the types of content that are posted? So you will really know how to adapt your strategy. Then, for resource availability, you have to ensure that you have the resources to create content consistently for your chosen platform. So you must be able to create content consistently. The greatest mistake you will do is to create content, stop, change plan in midway, just without any plan. If there is a reason, a great reason why you need to change your plan, great. But you don't just change platform. You decide to say, okay, today I want to post this, and you make the post and you say, oh, I don't want to make those posts again. Tomorrow I want to make this post, and so on. So you don't do that. Life, you don't walk around life without a plan. If you don't plan, then your plan is to fail. Each platform requires a different type of content and posting frequency. So get to understand this and how your audience, because it really depends on your audience, because you know that it is possible. If you want to post 5 times in one day, it is possible. You can make, if you want to post 100 times in a day, it's possible. So it is not that any platform will say, don't post, you have made too many posts. So your goal is just to understand your audience, what they want. It's just like doing a physical one-on-one marketing, and you are marketing to someone. You are trying to stop someone to talk to the person, and the person is in a haste. You won't hold that person back and drag the person to talk with the person, will you? You won't do that. But so, because you know that most people are not going to stop, you need to begin to craft creative ways, creative communication strategies, so that when you just tell the person the first few sentences or one sentence that comes out from your mouth, you'll be able to make that person interested in the whole lot you have to say.